Who's going first, me or you, Steve?
You can go.
Welcome back to We Are the South Stand. The big man is back. The big man is back. Pre-season's over, Steve. Steve's been doing his best impressions of Jack Grealish all summer, but now he's back. You match fit?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm ready for the game at Wolves at weekend. Yeah, I can't wait for it now.
I bet you can't. Bro, do you know what? Actually, just who is it? Is it Spidey? Spidey?
Spivey, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That flag is everywhere now, isn't it?
Yeah, fair play to him. He goes everywhere. He's unbelievable supporter, so he deserves it, man. Yeah, him and his dad. His dad's not been too well, so it's a shame for him. But Spivey's still there. He's still going, man. He's one of the real ones.
Is it Spivey?
Spivey, yeah.
Do you know the first time? Bro, the first interaction I have with him, is because it was on a comment, and because he's Salford, I presumed he was a red. And he's like, I'm a blue. He was like, I'm a blue. And I was like, my bad. I just presumed you're red. But nah, you know what? It's a consistency with the flag as well, though. Because, how much of a ball like carrying those flags around is. And they 100%. Get lost and left everywhere. But he's everywhere with it. It's fair play. Do you know what? Looking at some of the pictures from Palermo, I kind of wish we went now.
Yeah, it looks well. It looked nice little place, Sicily, innit? Like little town, little markets and stuff. Everyone was by the sea and that. So yeah, it was. It would have been a really good trip, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, our quiet summer, like that game just kicked us back into action. And last night, I'm lying on my sofa watching Suits, and Cass comes. He often comes in with different news, and a lot of it is news that I can't be asked about because it's more to do with Never a Foul, and it's about Arsenal or Liverpool or whatever. And he throws me the phone, and I see a picture of Savio. And I was thinking, what? Where are you with it?
I mean, last season, him and Jeremy Doku, we described them both as pretty much speedboats with no drivers. Very exciting. I think Jeremy near the end of the season got us a lot of points on the board coming off the bench and creating things. I think Savinho, he created more assists than Jeremy, but with Savinho, I don't think he was supposed to play as many games because he was his first season from Girona, and B, he looked like he got in some fantastic positions, and his decision making at the end was poor. I mean, we went to Bratislava and Erling Haaland, which you didn't see on the TV, was literally going ape shit at him because he got in so many good positions to get the ball in early and he never did it. I mean, has he got great potential? 100%. But when a decision like this happens, you've got to look at the manager. The manager trains with him every day. The manager and his staff see him every day. And if they've identified somebody else and they reckon they can get good money for him, then I feel like, the club are going to do what they need to do. I know everyone's going to look at Cole Palmer's situation, but that was far different at the time.
We can't do that on every player that leaves the club.
No, and when we sold Cole, we had Riyad Mahrez and everybody there, and it looked like we were stacked. But with Savinho, if they go out now and get Rodrygo instead of Savinho, nobody blinks an eyelid because Rodrygo's up there. He's a world-class player. Savinho's got the potential to be up there, but at the minute,
it's not what we need.
I can only go off my eyes, and he's not showing it,
But you know what? Because I'm really split. I think this one splits the fan base because I hear it. I'm not saying like if we get rid of Savio, if we keep Savio, I'm not going to be saying get rid of Savio, right? I do wish Savio maybe was given a try on the left a bit more because from what he did at Girona and the sample size we have at our club on the left, I genuinely think he would link up better with Haaland from the left than Doku does. But at times you have to just look at things and think, right, firstly, that's not going to happen, right? Because it hasn't happened. And in pre-season, it hasn't happened. And in training, I haven't seen it happening. Pep's not going to play him on the left. Secondly, it comes to a point where you look at where you are as a club and what you want, right? And I can honestly say I have given Manchester United so much shit over recent years about when they talk about whether it be Jesse Lingard or any of these wingers they get. I always say, you used to fucking have Giggs and fucking Kanchelskis, right? And now you're waxing lyrical about Jesse Lingard. I feel like we have to make sure that we remember that at times, right? Savio can look good on the eye, absolutely, right? But he's not Mahrez, right? Because Mahrez looked good on the eye, but also had numbers, right? And it wasn't, if he wasn't scoring, it wasn't because he was hitting the first defender ever, right? It was never down to, and the same, even if you look at Sterling's numbers, and then you look at Savio's, and people have said, yeah, but that's not fair to do the comparisons because of where Savio is now. And if you look at those players, well, Sterling, to be fair, at Savio's age was cooking. But apparently Mahrez, when he was Savio's age, wasn't doing much. That's all well and good. But I'm not here to hold Savio's hand. I'm a City fan. And I need something now. Like going into this season, we can't. And I hate to say it, but I don't know what you think from Bob's performance on Saturday. But the minute Bob came in, it just looked refreshing. He was going. Yeah. He's going on the outside or inside. He just looks more killer.
And we can't afford to have people who are 50-50. Oh well, he might improve. We can't have that. We lost the league title. We didn't win a trophy. We need to improve now. So if the opportunity to come up for Rodrygo's there and City do that business, then it looks like great business. I mean, anyone with a brain's got to realise that we've got 32 players, 33 players. People have to leave. We can't just keep buying players and just hoarding them because you watched against Palermo the other night. We fielded 2 complete, 11 teams.
Yeah, literally.
And it's literally like that can't happen at weekend. We got Wolves. So it's going to trim the squad down. It's going to cause a divide. It always will be. Savinho's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. He's come in and he's tried his best. But we've got to admit, there's been times when we come out the stadium last season thinking, Savinho frustrates the life out of me. If he'd have got the ball up early, Haaland would have tapped it in. If he'd have cut inside when he should have done. He used to cut on the outside when he used to go on, should have gone on the inside. He'd cross when he should shoot, and he'd shoot when he should cross. It's just frustrating.
Do you know what? I hate to say it, but there's an element of look. He did have a lot of pressure on him last season. 20-year-old, first season in the Premier League, and at a dysfunctional City. And you could see his decision making changed over the weeks. Like it got worse and worse as he seemed to be feeling the pressure of needing a goal, right? And that's all great, but again, I want players that can handle pressure. And it is. It's not I don't want to come across entitled, but I do want to, like, guy called CB I do stuff with, who's a Chelsea fan, always talks about standards. And I think we do have to remember the standards we've set. And for me, let's talk about Bob for a second, right?
Because here's one thing that ends it all, right? If you're in the changing room at weekend and you're picking the Manchester City team, Savinho is not even in your first 6 picks in that team.
No, he's not. He's not. Well,
right. So that shows you where it is, because a lot of people would rather go without Savinho and Doku and play Mamouche and Foden. So we're talking about a player here that's not. It's not like we're taking Reinders out and selling him where you think he starts every week. Savinho doesn't start every week. It depends on what system Pep plays. So he's not even your first name on the team sheet. So people getting upset and everyone's comparing him to Doku. It's not about Doku.
Oh, that is, thank you, Steve.
Doku. Yeah. This is about Savinho and the way Pep thinks about him. Doku, we can all see with Doku that he's more or less the same, but Pep obviously sees something else. The only defense of Doku last season, near the end of the season, when we needed points, he was bringing Doku off the bench, Everton away, teams like that, and we were getting results because of Doku. With Savinho, so I mean, look at that miss the other night against Palermo. He brings the ball down, centre of the net, misses.
Oh, do you know? Yeah, he should. The other thing is with Doku, there's something very unique with Doku, his uniqueness, right? That with Doku, off the bench, he's just something very different, right? Is he the finished article? Can he improve? 100%, right? Do I think he should be a star at City next season? I don't. However, like even in the Club World Cup, Doku offers something very unique and very different, right? He's got raw talent. Like, yes, Savio might be technically better, but Doku offers something very raw.
Doku's days might be numbered. If he does not,
true. And this is the truth.
Season, this season he might get one more season, and then Jeremy Doku. So I like City being a bit ruthless.
Yeah,
and saying, listen, you're not cutting it.
Bro, it's so mad because I see Pep is too sentimental. Pep is too sentimental. Then as a fan base, we start being sentimental about a player that's been here for a year. The other way I look at it earlier on is, when a player leaves your club, and of course, when a player leaves your club, you always worry about when you play them, right? Because if they... But I was sat there thinking, right, if Doku leaves our club, goes to Tottenham, and he's through on a one-on-one, am I worrying? I'm not. And however good of a footballer on the eye, I'm not worried if he's through one-on-one. Now, Oscar Bobb, on the other hand, if he's through on a one-on-one, completely different story. And this is where I think this transfer might have come from. A few people in the chat must be mad observant, but they noticed that Oscar Bobb looked a bit unhappy on Saturday. Now, I didn't notice that at all, but it would make sense that maybe he'd been made aware of this before the game, right? But if we go back to last summer, I don't think it was a conversation between who the number one right winger would be, right? It was going to be Oscar Bobb, right?
Yeah.
Off the back of last pre-season, it was going to be Oscar Bobb. I think Savio's just seen his arse a little bit as well. I think there's probably an element of wages as well, because he's only on 40k and it's World Cup season. But I think he's potentially just thought, you know what, Oscar Bobb is higher up in the pecking order, and he's going to be a starter over him. And furthermore, that first half, I like the way Rico Lewis, Oscar Bobb, and Cherky linked up.
And people that in the chat saying, why are you not calling out getting rid of Stones, Kovacic, Gundogan? It's a process, people. You can't just get rid of everybody because you've got no experience. Pep will keep these players around for the experience, to bring on your Reinders, to bring on Cherky. There's going to be times in the season when things aren't going our well. That's when you get your Gundogans and your Kovacic's that get involved and get things going. So why does everything have to be a comparison? At the end of the day, Pep Guardiola is the manager of Manchester City. He has made a decision that he feels that he can let Savinho go because A, he doesn't either think he's good enough, or B, he's got a replacement, or he's got Oscar Bobb coming in the wings. So you've got to roll with it. You can sit and bitch all you want. I've had the messages I've had today off people. It's unbelievable. Anyone would think Savinho has been PFA Player of the Year. There wasn't this much shit when Leroy Sané left. And let me tell you this, Leroy Sané is 10 times the player Savinho will ever be, right?
Bro,
but at the end of the day,
below is spot on. So funny. We literally got rid of 3 players today. So all it's been is we're not getting rid of players quick enough. And now it's the same thing. And Steve, the biggest thing that pisses me off is people would just start going, Gundogan. Why isn't Gundogan gone yet? Right. I don't think they know how. Right. If we haven't had an offer for Doku, if we haven't had an offer for Gundogan, then we can't get rid of them. Tottenham have put in an offer for Savio. That doesn't mean that Doku is now a world-class left-back. It just means we've been offered good money for our right winger. We might end up getting rid of both of them. They're not comparable, and let alone when you start going into the midfield role. So, right. Do you think, Steve, this has come off the back of the initial contact for Grealish from Spurs?
Grealish was never going to Spurs. Grealish needs to stay in the Northwest. He's got a new house, family there. His missus ain't letting him leave. He's staying in the Northwest. End of chat. Spurs have lost Maddison. They've lost Son. They need to get players on the board. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a big deal. I see people having a meltdown over it. McAtee's going as well. Where's the meltdown over McAtee? Why? He's a young up-and-coming kid. No one's saying that about James. And then Grealish needed to go on loan because him and Pep clearly don't get on. You either back the manager or you don't. At the end of the day, I don't think Savinho's done enough in his first season for anyone to really throw the toys out the pram. And if they go and sign Rodrygo, which we're now linked with, well, I'm sorry. If you ask me, who would you rather have, Savinho or Rodrygo? It's a no-brainer because Savinho will never get to the level Rodrygo is at now. So that's what I'm saying. People need to relax a little bit. I'm seeing comments like, why don't you back our players? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's not backing the players? I'm backing the manager. You know what I mean? I'm backing the whole team. But what I'm saying is, You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't go and get rid of 10 players, and it's not Championship manager. You've got
it doesn't make sense.
We've got Reinders in there. We've got Cherky in there. We signed Mamouche. We signed Reyes. We signed Kusanov. We've signed Nico Gonzalez. So what else do you want? At the end of the day, we've not done bad in the transfer market, but if you sign all them players, you're going to lose some players as well. So just trust the process and let it happen at the end of the day. We'll see where we go.
Yeah, spot on up. Yeah, not everything is linked. It's mad that, listen, if an offer came in for a certain player, you don't instantly link that to, but I don't like this player, so I want rid of that player. I do think it is interesting now, because we've got the fact that Grealish and Savio are both going. Potentially, Savio's not confirmed yet, but both going. That's 2 wingers gone, right? Marmouche will also be away with African Nation in January and February. So if you think about it, do you think we're going to go in and get another winger?
I think if Fabrizio was mentioning Rodrygo, I think there's something in that. There's a reason why Rodrygo's not gone anywhere just yet. So I feel like there could be legs in that one. And like you say, Grealish was always going to leave. Last season when Jack played that semi-final against Forest, played really well, gets dropped for the final, and then the final straw is when he brings in Echeverri instead of Jack when we're needing a goal. So, but listen, I'm not going to blame Pep, because I feel like Jack himself had let himself down a little bit. He knows that. I think if you actually sat there and said, come on, have you been the best you could be on and off the pitch for the last 3 years? He'd probably say no. So I've no doubt Jack Grealish is a great player, and Everton's going to get a great player. And the big thing with Everton is they will allow him to play football. He won't be tracking back and being put on the left in a system. He'll be the man there where get the ball, make things happen. And I think that's what he needs. So it's all on him now. You know what I mean? He's got his move, and I wish him all the best. But a McAtee as well is another player that we knew was going to leave. I don't think he fits quite in the squad. So it's a bit of change. It's been a mad day, but it's needed, in my opinion. It's needed.
Yeah. Do you know, the mad thing I've seen on Grealish is, and do you know what? I think it's Pulpy that said it. I said something earlier, and Pulpy said spot on, is ultimately now we don't need to do any of this as a fan base anymore, this defending of Grealish. Listen, Grealish, we loved him. We love everything as fans. We loved everything that he did for the other City fans, that his family did for the other City fans, how he represented us. Listen, even with that treble win, because that's the way some of us would celebrate it, and that treble season. And we wish him well. We wish him well. The mad thing I have seen is, have you seen the option to buy fee?
No.
50 million next summer, right? And I think, he'll have 1 year left on his contract at the age of 30. There's no way Everton are paying 50 million for him next summer.
The transfer when the fees at the minute are crazy anyway, we know that. But you know, it's just, I think it's just one of them things. There's no point having Jack moping about on the bench or in and around the training ground. He's not happy. You know, let him move on, let him do things. His best season was the treble season. And, you know, a lot of City fans fell in love with him. But there's been times when we've needed a bit more from Jack and we haven't had it from him. And then we've been times when he's looked absolutely amazing and then he's not got a game. So this is a cat and mouse game with Pep and Jack, where it's a love-hate relationship, the pair of them. So they need a break from each other, in my opinion. Do
you know what? The mad thing is, what I actually like is, because obviously one of the reasons I wanted Walker to go last summer was I don't like when you can sense a fan base is turning on someone and things are getting nasty. And the way things ended, not even with the fan base, but with the club, between Grealish and the club, the way it was going the back end of last season, it's kind of nice that with my last memories of Grealish are going to be at the training, right, where you still saw the fans loved him, right? And so Grealish is not going to be leaving City with any despise or anything towards the club. The fact he's still going to be living in the Northwest as well. So we can wish him well. Now, we spoke on Rodrygo. Do you think there's any? I don't know if you've seen this. The Xavi Simons links.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the thinking is behind Xavi Simons, or whether they're just using City for leverage now to get things done. You never know. Rodrygo makes sense. I think we have been linked with him before, and it does look like he needs a way out of Madrid. And I think Madrid could do with the 100 million at the minute. So I'm more leaning towards that one. I don't see Simmons signing for us. I just don't see him where we need him. But but definitely Rodrygo would be a fantastic signing for us. If we can get that one over the line, I think everyone would be buzzing with that one, you know.
Do you know what? There's so love-hate relationship, Nitin Patel, right? He's been saying all summer, one of the things with the signing, if we were to go for Rodrygo, is that the signing of Rodrygo would put the fear factor back into Manchester City. And I actually get what he's saying. It is a bit of a statement signing that will let everyone know exactly where Manchester City's intentions are this summer. So I do actually, I mean, listen, I'm not going to, you know, with signing Rodrygo, it's not like we're going and signing, I don't know, a PSG Mbappe, right? Where you're looking at the numbers going, fucking hell, this guy is insane, right? But for me, Rodrygo walks into any team in the Premier League. Yeah. Any team on the left, like tell me a better left. I mean, someone will probably say, well, who was the best left winger last season? Someone's probably going to say Anthony Gordon, right?
The thing is with Rodrygo,
Anthony Gordon,
gone a little bit stale. He's gone a little bit stale in Madrid, and he probably needs a freshen up. You know what I mean? A bit of a change. Something's come out of left field for Man City to entertain this Savinho thing, because it's definitely not been on the cards. Something's come out of somewhere where they've got the nod that X player is now available, but you need X amount, and City's gone, right, okay, well, this is what we're doing, and that's what's going to happen. And I agree with him that it would give us a fear factor. Mamouche, Foden, Cherki, Rodrygo, you know what I mean? Loads and loads of talent. And Erling Haaland up front, he'll be licking his lips at that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, you're right, because, look, Savio travelled to Palermo. He wouldn't have travelled to Palermo if, like we saw, McAtee didn't travel, Grealish didn't travel. Savio travelled because it has come out of left field. And yeah, I think you're right. It's very easy to judge players based on seasons they've had that are very, you know, like ultimately Rodrygo is for the last, well, probably for most of his Madrid career, has always been in the limelight of other people. Like, and it's the same this season. We already know, bro, he didn't play like more than a couple of minutes in the whole Club World Cup. Is there a reason why, like, Pep's shown his interest? I'm pretty certain last summer we went in for, or Pep had chats with Rodrygo, but Rodrygo had said, I don't want to play on the right-hand side. I want to play on the left. That's what we're crying out for now, for me. Yeah, I can't lie. I'd love Rodrygo. But let me ask you, what would you rather, Rodrygo or we invest and go and make Livramento happen?
Rodrygo.
You would?
Yeah.
This is a kid in you. This is a kid in you, Steve.
Rodrygo's a game changer, wins you games. I think right back is an important part of the system, but I think we can cope, you know.
It's the same conversation we had last week at Sport Bible, isn't it? It's what you go for, yeah.
It's just you know, and looking at us, I thought the other night against Palermo we played well. I thought it was a game of two halves. I thought the first half we created a lot more chances, looked a lot more fluid. Second half, a lot of the older guard came on, and the ball started at times. The ball started to go side to side again, and I'm thinking, here we go. This is like very, very slow and progressive. And then Reinders just started appearing at the right place at the right time, a bit like Gundogan did a few years ago, just popping up edge of the box, bang, goal. And the Savinho Doku link up again. We've seen it all before. If you go back to the Crystal Palace FA Cup final, them two were there. Go and deliver us the cup. This is what I'm saying. One of yous deliver.
Steve, do you know what it is? That's my. I'm trying to really be balanced, right? And shout out to Freddie. I don't know. Yesterday, I don't know if there was a City Extra tweet that I think someone at one of his admin at halftime had put something like "game over" the Unks are on, fun over or something like that. And I called him out, and then he messaged me straight away saying, "Look, that wasn't me. That was admin." And he said he's got carried away. He said, and I'm pissed off. I'm going to address it with him because we are a professional. We shouldn't be doing that at all. And I'm not happy with it. So shout out to Freddie straight away. He took accountability. He said, we're going to deal with that tomorrow and he was like, I don't even know whether to delete the tweet or not because the comments were mad on it of people actually coming out and defending Bernardo and Gundogan. However, I see why the lad tweeted it because at half time, I was thinking, right, we're getting to see Nico Gonzalez in the DM role. We're getting to see what he can actually do. We're actually getting to see Kuznetsov and Stone's partnership. We're getting to see Oscar Bobb on the right-hand side. Everything was what we wanted to see in pre-season to know going into... And then at half-time, it's Haaland and Doku show. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. We already know this. The Club World Cup final... Steve, Club World Cup, through it, we hardly played Doku and Haaland. Then in the final, we decided to play Doku and Haaland together. And look what happens, right? And again, the Gundogan Bernardo thing. I actually think Gundogan was good yesterday, though, on Saturday, you know?
Yeah, listen, Ilkay knows what he's about and Pep knows what he's about. He's not there to be starting every week. He wasn't there to be starting every week last season. The only the reason he started all the games is because literally Rodri got injured and we were fucked. We had nowhere to go. And with the season had started and we were panicking. So, you know, you're not going to get that this season. People saying, oh, he's going to play Gundogan and that. He probably won't. You're going to get, you know, a lot of rotation. You're going to get everybody fresh. All we've got to do is make sure we get everybody up to speed at the right time. And we're thereabouts near the end of the season. Because even the end of this season, we turned it on near the end and we went and got the points on the board. And I think that's what we need to do now. But we've got some tough games, opening games coming up. We've just got to, you know, get some points.
Do you know what? This is one of the most difficult starts I can remember for quite some time, you know. Who we got? So we've got Wolves away, Tottenham at home,
United.
Then we've got the United, Arsenal.
Brighton.
Yeah, fucking mad that. And yeah, Brighton's away as well, isn't it? Yeah, it might be one of the toughest starts I remember. But who was your standout on Saturday? Actually, people, 750 in here. Love to see it. Can tell City are back, but no one cares. 207 likes. So people, 729. There should be at least 300 likes. So please just take 2 minutes. And the same if you're watching this on playback, please make sure you're smashing the like button. You've got the main man you've been talking about all summer. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? He is back now. Who stood out to you then most in?
I think it was a tale of two halves. I feel first half, Nico Gonzalez, who a lot of people have been worrying about whether Pep's not fancying him. I thought he played very, very well in the midfield. I thought he linked it up well, kept us moving. I thought Ryan Cherky first half was brilliant, always wanting the ball, coming a little bit too deep for it sometimes, but every touch is forward. It's trying to get that pass, a couple of the outside of the boot passes. And this is what you're going to get with Cherky. Listen, I don't mind if he loses the ball sometimes, but at least he's trying. It's when it's very, very safe side to side. I'd rather have Ryan Cherky try 6 outside of the boot balls and lose it 3 times than watch Gundogan, Akanji and Diaz pass it side to side for 25 minutes on the edge of the box. Nice. So that was a breath of fresh air for me. Nico and Cherky first half. And obviously Kuznetsov as well, you know what I mean, did okay. I thought
couple of great challenges.
Okay.
Couple of great challenges from Kuznetsov. Yeah, bro, I was going to ask you about Rico. Do you know what? My frustration with Rico is no longer on Rico. It is that I'm not learning anything about Rico that I don't know. Like Rico, for me, I honestly believe, and this is why I've said I'd be happy to loan him out to a club that is going to allow him to play in midfield for a season. I actually think Rico Lewis is and he's still only 20, right? He's such a good midfielder. And I think he got the assist for the first goal. His link up with Cherky was very good. He plays in that kind of advanced 8 role really, really well. He's just not a right back. And that's like...
Even John Stones came and he looks the part. It's just his fitness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Pep likes Rico Lewis, what you said, when he's in them little pockets in the middle of the park.
The
only thing with Rico sometimes is he dwells on the ball and gets caught in possession. And I think that's the thing that lets him down. But that first half performance, I thought, was very, very encouraging. The second half performance was, it was very side to side at times, very, very safe. But Reinders stood out a mile. he just gripped the game by the scruff of the neck, and they were finding him. He scored 2 great goals, and how he didn't score that hat-trick when he rounded the keeper.
Bro, he rounded the keeper so beautifully as well.
Unbelievable.
It was almost like the perfect way to get your hat-trick. And it was just, Steve, this is what I think with Reinders. I saw, I think it was LB said, I can't remember his exact wording, but he tweeted something yesterday saying, or the day before saying, Reinders is like the most nailed on signing we've made for some seasons. I think he's spot on that with him from the minute we signed him, you just know what you're going to get with him. It's not, is he going to be good? Remember when Pep first season, I think Gundogan got injured before we'd signed him, and the board apparently went to Pep and said, he's injured, what do we do? And Pep said, you still sign him. Yeah.
Yeah, sign him. He was on crutches. He's medical, so how he got through that, I don't know.
But with Reinders, it just feels like that with him, it's what we were crying out for last season, because you think last season De Bruyne wasn't getting the goals that he used to, Gundogan wasn't getting the goals that he used to, Rodri wasn't about getting the goals, even our wingers weren't getting in on it. Reinders is going to be that guy that hits the box and gets goals. He's so clinical, but also putting an absolute shift in. I think he's got to be the first name on the team sheet.
He's a great player, and he complements so many other players. Yeah. So he doesn't just do his own game. He brings a lot of other people into the game. Sometimes you see him drifting out on the left. He's linking up with in the World Club Cup, he was linking up with Nuri and Doku. Little triangle was going on there, looked very, very well. We've seen him, dropping deep when he has to, picking the ball up from the back four if Rodri's not quite there, and turning on it on the sixpence and driving, which is fantastic. And I feel like he's a Rolls Royce of a player, but I feel like when Rodri gets up to speed and them two get on a level, I think when teams try and break on us, you're going to have a problem, because these two are going to be so efficient. When we're in our groove, there was little sections in the first half where we were in the groove and you could see us pinging it around one touch and that. And Cherky's a big part of that. He's a maverick. And I'm telling you now, City fans, you're going to get sensational performances from Cherky where we're going to be walking out the stadium going, wow. Yeah. And you're going to get games where he ain't at it and he's not going to fancy it. And that's what Pep will know. And it'll be right. He needs a breather. We need to take him out. He'll be frustrated, etc. But Ryan Cherky is a breath of fresh air. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to go forward. And that is what we've missed compared to last year with Gundogan and Kovacic. It was literally crab football, side to side, safe shit.
Yeah, you're spot on what you said earlier, that there was a few moments with Cherky. I mean, that pass with the outside of the foot.
Class.
I think, do you know what? I don't know if it wasn't pre-season and players were a little sharper, they might have got on the end of that as well, by the way, because the pass was a beautiful pass. I liked the fact that he seemed to be given a free role to just be the guy floating about. And, sometimes you replace a player without replacing them with a like for, because he's not the same as Kevin De Bruyne, but it's almost like Pep's going, do you know what? You're going to start shit like Kevin De Bruyne does. You're going to be involved. You're going to be maybe not the same way with the passing, same way really and truly David Silva handed over to Kevin De Bruyne. Cherky really, really impressed me. What about Trafford? What do you think on Trafford?
I think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. I just feel like we're used to Edison being very calm at the back and getting the ball out and dinking it over the oncoming press and stuff like that. I feel the other night he held onto it a little bit too long. There was a couple of times where it looked like he was panicking. And then when we watched Edison's second half, Edison was very, very calm and doing his thing. But I feel like, I've said it all along, I think he's going to fight with Edison. Edison, for me, should start. But Trafford, I think his all-round goalkeeping is probably better than Edison. It's just his with the feet. But if you're training with Edison every single day and you're, shadowing him for a year, you can only get better with your feet. I think with Joe Hart, when he was here, for example, he was a good goalkeeper, but he wasn't willing to learn that side of the game with his feet, and Pep just needed him out of there. But I think City have signed him for a reason. Donnarumma's leaving Paris Saint-Germain now as well, so that's a mad one because he is a good goalie. But I think Trafford he knows his role, he knows what he's got to do, and he's just going to fight it out with Edison.
Do you know what? I think you just made me think, because I think I was very encouraged with how comfortable or no, I'm going to use the word comfortable, how willing he was to play the City system. And, you know, when the ball gets played back to him, he knows what is expected of him with the ball, right? He's more than happy and confident to keep the ball at his feet, which is what City do. But I also think you're right. Maybe he was trying a little bit too hard, and so he's holding on to it too long. And that's where City maybe need to remind him that, listen, this isn't just keep hold of the ball at your feet to show how confident you are. There's got to be purpose with it as well. And, you know, you do have to release it at times. And I think once the confidence gets back, probably his distribution will get a little bit better as well. But I also think there was a few moments where he's more than... There was one time where he went to come out and stopped, whereas Ederson would have just carried on charging out and got the ball. And whereas Trafford kind of second-guessed himself. But I think they're things that will be coached out with him. Right. The other one that I ignore his feet. I did not realise how good that guy with his feet. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's very good. And he had a quiet game, to be honest, but he's very good under pressure in tight spaces. He can move it quick and get us out, get us on the attack. He's going to be a great signing. I feel like the whole squad now is looking good. I'm impressed with it. And I feel like we watched Liverpool yesterday, and no one's writing Liverpool off because they're going to get Isaac, and it's going to be a great team. But I think they can be got at, you know what I mean? And I think City are like third favourites to win the league, which suits me. I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? Let's just continue. One thing we've got to do is we've got to get everyone on the same side beginning of the season. All the fans got to get behind the team. We just got to get going again. And once the fans and the players are on the same wavelength, things start to happen. We've seen it with the treble season, and I feel like we've got to get that banter, camaraderie back. I feel Pep's freshened up the backroom staff, Colo, Torre, etc. And I feel like it's a big season for us now, and we can't afford not to win any trophies this year. You know, the standards are high for a reason, so we need to go and win.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think that's the thing. Even yesterday, like I watched the Liverpool game. I had someone on Never a Foul tell me yesterday, Liverpool looked deadly in the first half. And then literally 2 seconds later say they just could have been more clinical. And I thought, deadly but not clinical is the most bizarre term I've ever heard in my life. The Frimpong goal, that wasn't meant. So, but most importantly, we saw Van Dijk make a mistake, and I'm still going to keep saying it because we talk about the right back need. They still need centre backs because Gomez is injured, Konate gets injured, and Van Dijk's 34. And they keep telling me they're going to get Guéhi, but I think Guéhi's going to be difficult because I think Chelsea are going for Guéhi now with Colwell injured. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Liverpool have shown last season that football is, have shown yesterday that football is not one on paper at all. And I think you're right, Steve, the underdogs thing, because what do you think we're going to win the league?
Yeah.
You've got that feeling already?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we're going to... I think last season was a horrendous season. We finished 3 points off Arsenal. And when you dig it, we were terrible. Yeah. We were terrible. We just got to add a little bit more consistency to our game and arrive in them last 10 games there or thereabouts, and then it's turn up the pressure and go for it. And I think we will do. I think we'll be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things on last season that we like. For me, I'm learning that I'm a very reactionary person. The way I've been this season with the Al Hilal result just completely sent my head left. And I often, although I remind people rivals when I get heated and rattled in conversations, I do forget the injuries. And you think about it, a few of the players that consistently got injured, if they stayed fit last season, would we have been a different team? Even little ones, like we never really talk about, like we all talk about how John Stones gets a lot of injuries, right? But I don't think we talk too much about the impact of John Stones getting injured. That a fully fit John Stones, like I've been saying this for a while. For me, the best Manchester City is with a fully fit John Stones.
Yeah, exactly.
We forget about those things. If John Stones stays fit this season, does that that changes our defense absolutely massively? So I'm doing the cautious one. I don't know if we can win it. I think the beautiful thing is that there's no expectations this season. Maybe from our fan base, I think there's expectations, but from from rivals, I think everyone's just convinced that Liverpool are going to walk this league. And
I don't think it works like that. And
don't work like that. Never has.
It's definitely it's there to be won, and we've got the mentality, and we've got one key thing that no one else has, and that's Pep Guardiola. And like you say, last season he would have been hurting. He kept saying, "I just want my players back. I want my players back." He's got his players back now, you know, and I think we'll be ready for it. And like you say, it's a good start. Wolves away, always tricky, but I'm confident, man.
Hold tight, Martin, with the super chat. He's got to bring it up, Martin. There it is. That training gear gave you a head loss. Steve, got to ask you. Ketchup, in fact, this much ketchup. Please watch how much on a Balti. Have you ever heard of anyone having a Balti pie with fucking ketchup? You see the amount? Oh.
That's borderline serial killer kind of shit. So if anyone, them people from 24 Hours in Police Custody are watching, and you've got a murderer on the loose,
look for Martin.
I'd be looking at him. It's an unhealthy infatuation with red liquid, so it could be blood. So go and check him out.
An interesting fact: Steve actually doesn't own any ketchup in his house because it's red.
Yeah, 100%. Don't do it.
Right, so I bet you're buzzing because you're going to Wolves away. I'm looking forward to it. I can't go to it. I'm going to be doing a watch along. We're going to start doing watch alongs on the channel, but yeah, just quickly on the Rodri thing. Do you think that we're going to see a Rodri contract signing anytime soon?
I think so. I think it's in the works. People have been telling me that's what they're pushing for. He's not pushing to go anywhere else. I think he's standing by the club because obviously he loves it here, and we've made him. You know, we've looked after him with his injury, etc., etc. He's won the Ballon d'Or, he's won the European Cup, so there's no better place for Rodri to play football. So I think he's going to get himself a new contract in line with, well, up there with Big Earl. I think he deserves it. So yeah, I think that'll happen soon.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, just a quick one on Big Earl. I've just thought of this. I don't know about you, but I feel like going into this season, there's no pressure on Erling Haaland. I don't feel.
I think there's always pressure because he's our number 9. But I feel like last year he would have been disappointed, but he's probably been crying out for the tools. He signed a contract for a reason. He's probably been told, listen, we're going to bring players in that are going to work towards making you better. And I think this could be a big season for Earl. One thing I've noticed with Earl in this new setup, he is getting involved a lot more. And it's not just a case of locking up Erling Haaland keeps Manchester City at bay, because you've got a lot of players around him that can do damage. So defenders can't just wrestle with Haaland for 60, 70 minutes. They've got to leave him and go and intercept what's happening in front of him. And that's where Erling Haaland, gets his chances, because the likes of Cherky, the likes of Aït-Nouri, they're always looking up and they can see that gap. And Erling's always moving. And I think Erling lost his mojo a little bit. The Erling Haaland before that was a machine, a powerhouse. You know what I mean? He was that big bully that we know. And I think that's what we need. We need Big Earl back, smashing centre-backs, getting involved in a bit of beef. But we need him smashing goals. We need him arriving. You know what I mean?
I think what you said there as well, I think it was difficult for a lot of players to get up for last season. Like, the one thing with Erling Haaland I'll say about last season is he got overused last season, especially in the first 2/3 of the season, because of Alvarez going, and we didn't have Marmoush at that point, and all the other injuries. He just was kind of being played every game. Definitely frustrations of the fact that, like we spoke on, Savio and Doku not getting the ball to him quick enough. Probably even really little things like, I know a lot of people don't care about this, but Steve, Erling Haaland is close to Jack Grealish, right? Erling Haaland, since he's been here, would have been close with Kyle Walker. Even the fact that some of these players that he'd kind of, since he's been at City, he's been around, weren't there. Seeing pelters for some of the players off of fans would have got him down a little bit by the second half of the season. I just think as well, and he's got competition again now with Marmoush, and that I think that will be important, because now he's not just guaranteed to start every single game. There will be games where we see a front three probably of something like, I mean, I won't say Daps, Savio, no, but we might see Doku, Marmoush, and Bob as an example. Like there will be games
that though. We
Yeah.
need. We can't flog Erling Haaland because we'll end up in a situation like we did with Rodri. We flogged Rodri for far too long. It bit us on the arse. We need Big Earl to rest him. There needs to be games where we've got to be sensible and say, you know what, we don't have to play Haaland. He's getting kicked about. Let's leave him out today. We can get the job. We're good enough to get the job done without Earl. And I think that's what we need to do. We've got to manage him at the end of the day. But I feel he needs his mojo back. We need to get behind him as fans again. And we need to make sure he hits the ground running because he's the best striker in the world for me. And we've got to remember that. All these people talking about Isak and Etike and fucking Benjamin Sesko, not a chance. It's all swap for our man. So we got to back him to the hill, you know.
I laugh about those. Like, whenever I see them, do you know what? With Gyökeres, I will look at his numbers the last 2 seasons and look at them against Haaland and go, all right, fair enough with him. Like, I actually said this earlier on when people were trying to talk about how good Gyökeres would be and saying, like, but how much have you watched him and this and that? I said, the one thing that I will say on Gyökeres is, even if you haven't watched him once, right, you can go and look at his numbers in the last 2 seasons and go, fucking hell, the guy knows how to score a goal, right? Mm. Most of the other ones that you're talking about, they're not comparable to Erling Haaland. Now, even if Sesko, you then, not Sesko, even if Gyökeres, the minute you stretch it over 2 or 3 seasons, right, it's not comparable. Even Isak, you start stretching Isak season by season. And remember, Erling Haaland has not been at Manchester City his whole career. He's also been at lesser clubs. And the difference is it's one of those things where I feel like now Erling Haaland's been in the Premier League for 3 seasons, had 3 good seasons. His last one was not a bad season when it comes to strikers' numbers, but people say it was a bad season. He doesn't need to prove himself now. Whereas the likes of Sesko, the likes of Gyökeres, even the likes of Isak, because let's be honest, Isak's only had like 1.5 good seasons. All of these, the likes of Ekatike, the pressure's all on them now because Erling Haaland's done it. There's nothing he hasn't done. So, yeah, I and by the way, the finish the other night, good finish.
Good finish, yeah.
Very good finish.
First of all, let's get people to get the likes up. You know what I mean? Come on, there's 700 and odd people in here. The likes are poor. It takes a second. Just hit the like, get the algorithm moving. Look after us on this channel. We're on the road to 10K. Yeah. You know, Daps has been holding the fort all summer, doing these shows regular for you. I've not been around, so big up to him because he's been busy, man, and he deserves it. So make sure we hit the like button. We are going to start bringing you more content and different things. We're going to get a schedule together and stuff. So
sorry. I've got to do this, Steve. Firstly, we're going to do the super chat. Yeah.
Go on.
Professor B saying Haaland lost KDB, Alvarez, Rodri, and everyone, and Jay Grealish. Yeah, he did. He lost. It's true. He has lost everyone that's been around him. To be fair, and. Last season was difficult on everyone. I think, Steve, you said it so many times, even with Foden, that Foden with Rodri there, that's getting the ball to Foden a lot quicker. Even that millisecond earlier, Foden has an extra bit of space. And I think we even saw it yesterday, you know. I think Rico Lewis was operating in a kind of similar role to actually where Foden was at times. And he was getting the ball quicker and getting involved. But I've got to bring him in just because he's not a City fan. And I don't know what he's doing backstage, but... Hello, mate. Hold on. Let me change the layout. Ty,
how you doing?
Yes.
What the hell are you doing?
Yes,
what are you doing?
I saw you live, and I just literally recorded a Man City video, so I just saw you live, and I just thought, yeah, hello.
How's things?
You right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You know me. I'm a football fan anyway. So even though I'm a United fan, I could talk on Man City, and I just.
It's fine. You've got an eye stuff on. You've got an eye stuff on.
Big up, guys. Though. Make sure you smashing a like and that, everyone. Yeah,
I saw you right backstage. Yeah, I'm good.
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, what's good, man? We're doing. We're just wrapping it up.
Streaming today makes sense. You're excited after the news today.
Oh, are you excited?
As a football fan, I like it. I like everything Man City are doing today.
But what about you lot?
Well, Baleba, we need him. Game changer. That is the one. We're still short otherwise. And you.
I want to know where you're getting your money from, though. You know what I mean? You're sacking dinner ladies 1 minute, and now you're spending 300-400 million. What's going on here now?
Sancho potentially off to Besiktas. Funny enough. Rasmus Højlund. Obviously, we're going to get hopefully some money for that. Garnacho, Rashford wages off the books. there's this little things creeping and crawling. You know us, Steve. And to be honest, I got told we had no money. But the way we're acting at the moment, it's like we have got some money somewhere. But the worry for me, right, is we might go hell for leather now and get all these players in. If we don't go and flop next season, next year we might be effed.
Yeah.
When it comes to the transfer window next summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we might be spending big now, getting the fans excited. Like myself, I was at Daps the other day, look, and I was saying, look, top 6 minimum, get Baleba. Could we sneak into the top 4 instead of Chelsea? You never know, but it's good to dream. But we're spending a lot of money. We need to deliver, and Amrim's got pressure, mate. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. It's on record now. Yeah. Amrim, you know, I gave him a chance, but last year was horrific. You lot were laughing. You lot weren't even considering us as rivals. You probably wanted us to win some games just so Cass felt better at home, Daps. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, do you know what? I Scruffy Jim, right? You know them millionaires, yeah, that dress scruffy just to fool everyone. Yeah. Bro, they're actually they're probably maybe not. Where was the area the tramps always used to be in Manchester, Steve? It was it around King Street? It was around King Street area where they'd be there, just hunt, but then they'd be in the back of their BMW on the way home afterwards.
Yeah, going on. Yeah,
going on.
Getting all their pocket change outside the local Tesco.
It's Scruffy Jim. And I just think that barbecue that he cancelled that was going to be the best barbecue of all time, because that one barbecue cancel and you're spending 300 million.
Yeah,
he was lining up his trip to Costco.
Well, I think he was doing the barbecue at Heaton Park for literally the whole of Manchester, because the way he's spending money at the moment is mental. And now the Donnarumma thing's even more mad.
Yeah, like, do you know what? Get him, bring him. 26. I know the wages will probably be quite high, but 26 million in today's market, bargain. Daps, him. Do you know what? If we get Baleba and we got Donnarumma, I'm going to go on record and say it's our best window since 2007, 2008.
Yeah, it probably will be, because you've got Premier League, you know what I mean? To be fair, but
we've got you lot early in the season.
You do indeed. Yeah. We'll definitely be doing a preview for that, Ty. So, but we are going to wrap up here, people. Good to see you, Ty.
Bless up.
Love. Love, Bob. Yeah, I just saw him lurking backstage. I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's spying on us for Jim. Right, so Steve, we're going to be back on Friday night with you on for the preview. You're going to be excited. Are you going down Friday night or Saturday, actually?
No, Saturday.
5:30 kickoff, innit?
Yeah, go Saturday afternoon, probably. Just drive down.
You won't be going Saturday. You will not. There's not a chance you're going down Saturday afternoon. You'll be leaving your house by 10 a.m. excited.
Yeah, probably will be. Somewhere to fucking park as well, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a nightmare, isn't it?
Wolves away, great memories there, to be fair. Great memories there.
Yeah, good. De Bruyne masterclass. But no, it's good. I'm looking forward to it. And like you say, people, you know, this is going to be a busy week, but we had to cut players. We know what we need to do. Just let's focus on Wolves and make sure we got as many fit players as we can and get 3 points on the board, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, people, I will be back tomorrow morning at 10:30 with Martin from Mancunian Way. Steve, we will catch up on here on Friday. Everyone, please make sure you're smashing the like, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.